I'm currently in Boston Commons on my way to Crispus Attucks Monument. I'll catch you guys after I teleport there. Crispus Attucks, located in Boston Commons between Tremont Street and Avery Street in Boston ever since November 14, 1889, stands at 25 feet high and 10 feet wide. This monument honors an event that happened on March 5, 1770 of Crispus Attucks, who was a fugitive slave that had escaped from his masters and had worked for 20 years as a merchant seaman. He was one out of the 5 Bostonians that was shot by British soldiers during the American Revolution, and among the 5 people that were killed, Attucks was the first victim. This monument consists of a female figure symbolizing the power and the spirit of the American Revolution. Starting from the bottom, a bronze plaque represents the event that took place in front of the Massachusetts State House, which depicts the soldiers violently fighting for either independence or exploitation. As we move up towards the statue of the female figure, we see her triumphantly raising her right hand, holding a split chain along with the flag of the United States, which reminds us of the Statue of Liberty located in New York City. Her broken chain and the flag symbolizes the liberty of the United States because they resemble the chain that Great Britain used to oppress the people of the United States, which is now broken. We also see the United States overcoming the oppression of Great Britain when she steps on the crown of the Great Britain with her right foot, symbolizing that the United States is no longer under control of Britain's monarchy and showing that the United States is no longer powerless and easy to control. If you look at the monument closely, next to her left foot, an eagle prepares to take a flight, symbolizing the new beginning of the United States, getting ready to fly and start a new journey. It shows off the freedom and strength the United States was able to obtain, just like how the eagles also have a long life, powerful strength, and its majestic looks. As we finally move up towards the top of the monument, we see 5 names engraved with their first followed by their last names. The names include Samuel Maverick, James Caldwell, Samuel Gray, and Patrick Carl, who are the other 4 victims that were killed by British soldiers along with Crispus Attucks. Crispus Attucks is not just celebrated for being the first murderer in American Revolution, but also because it symbolizes African American struggle for equality and the freedom of the United States. Attucks slowly became an icon of anti-slavery movement. Many abolitionists and supporters of the abolition movements praised him for playing a heroic role in the United States as an African American. Attucks not only represented himself, but he also represented the 5,000 African Americans who also fought for American independence. In 1996, Congress passed the Commemorative Coin Act of 1996 by unanimous decision, which led the United States to create 500,000 silver coins to honor Attucks and the rest of the African Americans who sacrificed their lives for the country. 2 days after the death of Attucks, all the businesses were closed to honor and attend his funeral in solitude. Despite the monument's physical attributes and its meaning behind it, when the Massachusetts General Court decided to erect the memorial in 1887, many objections came from those that questioned its appropriateness, historical distortions, and political opportunism. Many historians and researchers question whether Attucks is truly significant enough or if he even deserves to be symbolized on a statue. He is hailed as a hero of the American Revolution, but at the same time, only a tiny bit of information about this man can be verified. Why remember a man that people don't know about and do not have much to talk about? Does it make someone a pivotal figure just because he or she was the first one to die during the American Revolution? However, some historians do argue that this is exactly the reason why we have a monument of Crispus Attucks. Since people are not familiar with him and his sacrifice, the government wanted this female statue to symbolize Crispus Attucks and bring his name more known to the public. However, this brought a lot of backfire from many historians and the people of the United States. How come the other 4 people that died with Attucks are not represented as importantly? Was it just because he was a quote-unquote the first one to be killed? This brought many disappointments as Attucks was the only non-white soldiers out of the other 4 that were killed during the American Revolution. Whether it was intentional or not, this now became a racial conflict as many white citizens and white historians were furious after realizing that the other 4 white soldiers were not memorialized like Attucks was. In addition, the Massachusetts Historical Society argued that the money going towards the fund for the monument would be wasteful because Attucks was simply a rioter who served without much political purpose and ideology. The death of Attucks does not portray a significant political message nor something that he did that was significant. Things became more heated when rumors started going around that Crispus Attucks was in fact not the war's first murderer, rather it was a young white child who was the first one to get killed. This was one of the most significant arguments for those that were trying to reject the idea of honoring Attucks' sacrifice and building a monument for him. In some eyes, it was simply too risky to commemorate a figure that not only failed to spread a political message but also failed to confirm the truth of what exactly happened, as Attucks may not be the first one to be killed. The truth about the first man that was killed remains a mystery up until today. Despite many controversies on this monument symbolizing African American struggle for equality and the freedom of the United States, this statue still stands in Boston Commons and is one of the most intriguing monuments to the public.